Hello, hello. We're going to talk about Pluto and its trek through Aquarius. So, we're going to look at a lot of different aspects of it. I'm doing this as a series. Uh, People are just blowing up my phone and my DMs to ask me, give us more information about Pluto. Well, there's a lot to get into, so I broke it down into understandable chunks and I'm making small videos so you could look at the title and pick and choose what you like. This is number one in a series. So we're going to look at Pluto's transit through Aquarius, which is making a pivotal shift in history. But we have to, in consciousness and global transformation, but we have to look at the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius. So I'm going to break it down into the differences between the 1770s and the current 2024 Pluto moving through Aquarius. And then we're going to look at like the three main things is scientific innovation that's in progress, the personal and collective transformation that we may be seeing, and the differences between the 1770s and the 2024 right now. We are in a very fascinating time. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below and we will get back with follow-up videos to clarify anything. If you don't know who I am, I'm Ev Zerverdakis, founder of Holistic Healing Astrology. So let's dive in. You're all feeling Pluto's transformation from Capricorn to Aquarius, which is making the dawn of a transformative 20-year era that promises to revolutionize humanity's relationship with technology, as we're already experiencing with the Alexas and the series. If I say it too loud, things start happening that I don't need to happen. And it's made with convenience in mind, also the artificial intelligence, space travel, going up to Mars, automated cars that drive themselves, and we could go on and on and on. And you could see other videos that I talk about all these innovative technologies. The next thing is I'm titling the series as Pluto's Aquarian Revolution, and I will create a little list of all those Pluto videos so you could look them up at a glance, a playlist. As you probably know, astrology has to do with cycles. Everything is about cycles, and then we compare the cyclical energies of the planets, what signs they're in, and what aspects or geometrical relationship they have to one another. Now, when we talk about Pluto in Aquarius, this Pluto in Aquarius has three different geographical aspects, whereas the transiting Pluto in the 1700s had five aspects. So they're a little different. And my point is that the sky looked very much different back then. I'm talking about the stars than it does now. So the configuration of the stars is very much different. And we're going to dive deep into the differences and what it means. Because a lot of people, I don't know if they're astrologers, my peep astrologers that are in my league, they're not saying what I hear, but I hear some, I don't think they're as knowledgeable and as experienced. But they're saying, yeah, we're going to have a revolution the way we had in the French Revolution and the American Revolution in the 1700s. Well, it will be a completely different kind of revolution. We're already experiencing the revolution now. We already have spiritual warfare going on. Just the weapons are different than they were back in the 1700s. I mean, the way we fight war now is completely different than the way they did in the past, with the guns and stuff like that. Yes, we do have guns and ballistic missiles and nuclear bombs, which we're at a whole nother level, if you know what I'm saying. The biggest difference that I don't hear too many people talking about is, and there's a lot of confusion that I see out there because they're equating the age of Aquarius to Pluto entering Aquarius. Those are two different cycles. An age is about 2,400 years, 2,500 years. And a cycle of an age takes a long time. So the last age was the Piscean age, the Piscean age. Sorry, I misspoke. So that was from the 0 AD to the year 2000. So it takes about 100 to 200 years to transition from one age to the next age. Right now, we are in the age of Aquarius, which is starting a new 2,000-year cycle. I have to check my notes every now and then because I don't want to misspeak, and there's a lot to get through. So, when did the age of Aquarius start? Well, it's kind of vague because there's a gestational period. So, it's like asking, when were you first conceived? In utero. All right. We don't have a concrete time. So around the 1960s was what we feel the conception of the age of Aquarius. And then they analogized it to a birth. So the gestational period is between 100 to 200 years. And in the last 20 years, we had the actual birth. And they were calling it the crowning, the head was coming out, and all that. It's a great analogy. But here we are in the age of Aquarius. And then further on in this series, we're going to talk about the traits of Aquarius, the traits of Pluto, and that includes the key words. And then we could figure out, what does this mean? But no one really guessed how we would be today as opposed to the way it was in the 1700s. No one from even the 1800s. Yeah, there were people like Nostradamus and the Sleeping Prophet, Edgar Cayce, that made predictions. But our way of life, even as a teenager, in every decade that I journey through my life, it's almost 7 now decades, I never dreamed that I would be talking on a cell phone, seeing someone on FaceTime, talking across the globe without this horrendous phone bill, going through the airport with facial recognition, having all this GPS in the car so I could travel with ease. So we could kind of call it the age not only of information, but the information for comfort and for ease. Okay. What I think is interesting is in the 1960s, because that was my heyday, the years of the hippies, that had a flair of Aquarius, because Aquarius, some of the key words is unique, individual, a little detached, and being different and unique and a little weird. And so we did kind of start that revolutionary time, even with the music, with the Beatles, with rock and roll, uh, big innovations in music and our life. So we're getting into it now. At the age of Pisces, the focus from 0 AD, when Jesus Christ was born, there was a different feel. It had Pisces keywords of the mystical, the invisible, having faith, the unknown, and hypnosis, isolation, all these kinds of energies where you had compassion and there was escapism. Very interesting time. But those Piscean energies started fading away in the 1900s because they had to make room for the different shift of energies of Aquarius. And if you don't know what Pisces keywords are or Aquarian keywords are, if you know their elements and modalities, that will help you. So Pisces is a water mutable sign. Aquarius is an air fixed sign. So we break that down into these building blocks, and water is an emotional sign, all about feelings and emotions. That's Pisces. And they kind of just go with the flow. There is no structure. And they're the fish going in two ways. All right. It's mutable, it means very changeable, adaptable. Aquarius, on the other hand, is air, very intellectual, of the mind, genius, futuristic, and it's fixed. So that means it's like, we're not changing anything. We're going to be scientific. We're going to be looking at the future, and it's to know. We want to know, and we do know, because it also could mean mental telepathy, anything mental. And then we could dive deeper into the meanings and more keywords of Aquarius. But I just want you to get the overall emphasis of the difference of the two signs. So Pisces also is at the end of the zodiac. And you're going to say, well, wait, after Pisces is Aries. Right. But with the age, it goes from Pisces to Aquarius. It goes in another direction. So, because it's 2,000 years. So we're just in its infancy. So we have a lot more technology to develop. And if you use your imagination, imagination is also another key word for Pisces. But if you use your imagination, you can start to fathom, what is our world going to be like in the future? It's fascinating. And I have to say that during these 2,000 years in Pisces, the major religion became Christianity, because before that, I believe it was Muslim. And before that, it was many gods, in the BC times. But you could track it with the different ages. Interesting, isn't it? One more thing I'd like to say about Pisces. Pisces ruler the traditional ruler used to be Jupiter, but now the ruler is Neptune, because it was discovered in the 1800s, and that's more up to date. So remember that an age has about 80 generations based on the average of 25 years per generation. And that's why the outer moving planets, we call them generational, because they move so slowly. Pluto is one of them. Pluto is a generational planet along with Neptune and Uranus. So in the following videos, when we talk about the configuration in the sky, I'm only going to look at the slow moving planets that are making aspects and the social planets that are making aspects to Pluto and what's going on in the sky, because they're moving along together like a pack of wolves or a tribe. They're moving together. If you like what you're hearing, I make a blog every week and I post it on the website, holistichealingastrology.com, for you to read. And from that blog, I make my videos on YouTube, and on a regular basis, maybe once or twice, 3 times a week, I will do TikTok short videos to answer the TikTok family's questions and post something that's going on right now. We're just finishing up with a full moon, Scorpio Taurus full moon. And now we're going to look at this tremendous new thing of Pluto in Aquarius. So I want to show you, because on Zoom, I could share my screen, which I can't really do on TikTok. And it's difficult to do it on a blog. So for teaching purposes, I will share the screen. Now you can see here the chart from 1778. And this is when Pluto entered Aquarius in 1777, 1778, because you remember that Pluto has a back and forth pendulum type movement. So in the sky, here is Pluto right here at 0 degrees Aquarius. So when you're looking at these things, you have to know the symbols. And you could check on my YouTube channel, look up symbols, and you'll see a YouTube video that will show you how to figure out the symbols and read these charts and decode at another time. So here's Pluto. But in the sky in 1777, you have all these aspects over here going on with Pluto. Okay. And let's forget about the personal planets. We're going to look at the outer planets over here. Okay. And you see that Pluto has outer planets that are making relationships and aspects. So that's one of the things that makes it very different, because Neptune is trine in Virgo. So Neptune is in Virgo back in the 1700s, but Neptune now is in Pisces. So Virgo energy is about earth, it's mutable, it's about service. And think about it. How did we survive? It was like the almanac. When are we going to plant? We even use the seasons and the planets to know when to plant, the moon. But that's not the way it is now. And Saturn and Black Moon Lilith were conjunct in Scorpio, right? And they were making aspects to Pluto right here. And also we have the Uranus in Gemini, which is sudden and shocking and unexpected news and ways of learning. So technologically, we were advancing with how we learn, how we thought, very much with the electronics. And we saw that happening. So in the next video, we're going to look at this chart. And I'm going to pause this. And you could see here, 2024, Pluto is in Aquarius. It's also trine with Neptune in Pisces, though, which is a water sign and it's mutable. It's also retrograde. So next time we're going to compare and contrast. And just to speed things up, I'll show you the two together. And here we have it, where you could see 1777 in the inside, and then this 2024 on the outside. But what I found interesting was that both in the 1700s and now, Chiron was exactly 19 degrees in Aries. So we will talk about that on the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up, share it, and like it. Follow us, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, reach out. If you want to talk to me, you have a question, quick question, I do free discovery calls. I call them discovery calls. So it doesn't cost you any money to get in touch with me. I am open to hearing from you. It doesn't matter what it is. And I do teach classes. You could check on the website for upcoming classes. And until I see you again, I love you. Be safe. And remember, astrology is a helpful tool. Bye-bye.